bias and so many units off of 2 bases that it was just ridiculous. But maybe that was a different time, maybe timing, stuff like that. But I honestly don't think that it was that late. I think that it was about at the same time that he had all those units. So I don't know, maybe it's just me, or maybe I'm going crazy, but I think that Flash's macro was just like 100 times better than mine's is now. Mine looks like he's taking a little bit more defensive position and putting those 2 turrets on that ridge there, also putting down some mines to deter any type of, quick zealot attack or anything. He needs to be careful that those don't get dragged into his siege tanks, though. Building a pylon wall is By.Sun, and he's going to be able to hold off this 230 base, I believe. It looks like the 930 base is going up for Mind as well, and so both players at 3 bases now. And both players comfortably at 3 bases. Both players just content with macroing up at their fronts and not putting on too much pressure. We don't see any dropship play for mine just yet. We did see dropships earlier from By.Sun, so By.Sun might go in for some type of Reaver harass, or might even go for a recall. I think a recall would be very effective. There's not a lot of missile turrets in mine's base. There's only about 1 or 2 at certain areas, and he doesn't even have a lot of mines in his base at all. It looks like those engineering bay and barracks are going to be floated out for Mind as well. And here he comes with his vultures. Probably not going to be able to get in this base, though. Scouting for bases a little bit southern of that second natural. Not going to see anything there. Armory going up for Mind as well, so he might have the inclination that Arbiters are on their way. Also getting a science facility, so he definitely does know that Arbiters are on their way. Probably did a comsat, was able to scan that, and so he's going to be definitely prepared. Although, even when you're prepared, Arbiters are still very, very good, especially with status. That EMP is going to be so crucial if he can get that off before the status goes on. And a game I casted earlier, I don't remember who it was, but they had an epic EMP right before statusing a ton of siege tanks, and it really turned the tide of the battle. Here comes a lot of Dragoons, actually, and he might be getting ready for attack once that Arbiter comes out, is what I'm assuming. And so just kind of moving his forces around. That Arbiter is out, and might go attack one of the natural expansions, is what I'm assuming. Maybe this one at that 930 possession. Building missile turrets left and right because he thinks that he's probably going to come in and attack him. And ow, my calf is cramping up. Played basketball yesterday, and my calves were just killing me, absolutely killing me, because I'm like kind of on creatine right now. So need to drink more water, Ryan, and be ready to do some aerobic exercise, because creatine makes you cramp, and you can't be cramping in the middle of the game, Anyways, we do see dropship out for Mind now, and he has a ton of siege tanks, man. Probably going to go in for a vulture harass drop, and a lot of zealots come into the midfield, so this is going to be an epically huge battle. Don't even know if epically is actually a word, but that's the only thing I could choose to describe this. Here come the vultures, and now looks like By.Sun's going in for attack. He does pull his probes very well. Is going to have to back up. Some of his arbiters are coming in with those zealots and are able to deter that dropship. Here comes an arbiter. Might be going in for a recall. We might see a recall here. This is going to be huge, but there's so many mines in the base, taking hits from those missile turrets, and he is going to go in for a recall. All of his forces are bunched up. Recalls in the base. He recalls in the base. Here he goes. Dragoons in the base. Now there's a bunch of vultures in there. He's going to have to lay down some mines or something, but Mine is looking really, really grim. He's going to get his armory taken out, and his science facility looks like he's bringing back his siege tanks to attack, but By.Sun looks very, very confident, and here comes the vultures. Looks like a lot of Dragoons popping there from the siege tank hits, able to take out the starport. Very nice job. Might be able to take out some supply depots as well, but this force is going to get cleaned up. But at the same time, it looks like he's coming in from the south at that natural, and then now sieging up at his right-hand side is Mind, and he's going to be able to take out so many units. Good mind drag by that zealot there. Another starport's being built, but the siege line is going to be broken, and just freaking By-Hero, man, doing a ton of damage. Science vessel coming in and not doing a whole lot. Don't know if it has enough energy for an EMP, but vultures are getting harassed the crap out of. They're doing a lot of damage to these zealots, but these zealots are just overpowering these vultures, and By.Sun is in a very good position, able to pick off those 2 tanks at the top there. Very nice job of holding them and he just has so many zealots, just a lot of zealots. He doesn't really have any more of an army. Here comes a dropship from mine, kind of a counter dropship, but there's 3 cannons there. I don't think it's going to be able to do too much damage unless it has siege tanks in there. He's had to lift his command center, and this is just really bad for him. Trying to put up a cannon at that southern position, not going to go up. That pylon's going to go down as well, and don't really know who's ahead, to be honest. I can only assume that is By.Sun though, because By.Sun just has so many units out. He was able to pick off a lot. He did lose his whole army, which was pretty devastating, taking a hit from that mine, looks like. But yeah, doing a very nice job. Gonna be able to pick off these vultures, and woo, that mine just blew everything up there. Goliath's now out for mine. He does have a lot of siege tanks in the area still, and here comes another arbiter, and wow, he's just macroed up a huge army yet again. Might even be going in for another recall. That would be epic. 2 recalls, and he is gonna go in for another recall. It looks like, oh my gosh, here we go, the second recall. This might be hallucination though, but I'm assuming he does have a observer right there, and he's gonna recall right into his base. Another recall, and here he comes with more units, more zealots and more dragoons. Here we come, the vultures going in to defend, but By.Sun looks very confident. He is going to be able to see all of those units, but there's a ton of siege tanks in the area just dying to some mines, able to defense matrix one of these tanks. That defense matrix tank goes down though. Don't really know how effective that attack was. That recall was not that effective in my opinion. He's just been able to macro up so many units. He has another army. Coming in at the south, and I think that mine is going to GG pretty soon. He's putting up a good defense, but this harassment is just so ridiculous. Picking off tanks, and these dragoons are going to be able to take out these missile turrets, able to save some dragoons to pick off the vultures coming in from the back. Another defense matrix, but it looks like a status going on that siege tank there. Might have not been a defense matrix at all, might have just been the status. I'm not entirely sure, but able to pick off a lot of SCVs, and it looks like this 930 base is going to get taken out. He's going to have to fly this command center out of the area, coming in with some siege tanks though, and this is going to probably be his last ditch effort because he's only at 2 bases now, and it looks like mine is at 4, picking up the base at that 4 o'clock position and at the 5 as well. Here come a ton of zealots just streaming in. His army's gonna get trapped. His army gets totally trapped by the dragoons, and the zealots just get pincered in. And very nice move by By.Sun. By.Sun's really impressing me with his play. Obviously this isn't Flash or anybody, but he is just doing such devastating damage, and Mind knows that he's screwed here, talking to himself. He's pretty much just GG'd, but he's gonna stay in the game anyways because he needs this win. It's going to be 2-2 and bring SK Telecom T1 back into this match. If he loses, if he would have won, it would have been 3-1. Very hard for them to come back on. And, you know, they want to beat this first place team very badly, so he's going to stay in this game. But I cannot see any possible way that he's going to come back. He looks just visually devastated. The science facility is going to go down as well, so no more science vessels. Able to save that science vessel, and that tank doing a very nice job, able to pick off the bunker, and I don't see any way that he's going to come back for this. Very good play by By.Sun. Just those arbiter recalls, and I think recalls are very good. They can be very risky. You can lose your whole army to, you know, some mines or tanks or stuff if the tanks are in the right position, but he just, you know, macroed up so much that he was able to do that, and attacking from 2 sides was definitely the right move. The starport's going to go down as well, reinforcing with more and more units, and 4 base Protoss always beats 2 base Terran. 2 base Terran can be very good, but not that good. There's just so much macro on the side of the Protoss player, and these tanks are just getting picked off as they go to their rally point. 2 arbiters still in the area, and I cannot imagine how any of these how he's going to come back from this. Rather, I mean, he's staying in the game. He really should GG. Wouldn't be surprised if a scout came out pretty soon. I mean, obviously By.Sun knows why he's staying in the game, but really it's GG. There's no way he's coming back from this. Doing a very nice job of his attack is By.Sun, and impressing me just beyond belief. This is probably one of the best PVTs I've seen in a while, just purely on the fact that he used his arbiters so well, and mine GG's. But yeah, the arbiter play was ridiculous. Anyways, so now 2-2, and we'll see you in set 5. GG. Lates.